I think working with a freelancer has its benefits. You get that personal communication. And working with an agency, I think the advantage is that you get to get that personalization. But then on top of that, you get the accountability and the systems and processes and the overlap if somebody is unavailable. Maybe they go on vacation or they leave the company, in a worst case scenario, whatever it might be. There's somebody else that picks the slack up.
This is the Innovation Room, where we talk about real-life scenarios of growing a successful business with practical applications. We uncover many layers of a business and dive deep into technology, marketing, and sales processes to help businesses innovate and climb into their highest level.
Welcome to another episode of the Innovation Room. Today, I am joined by Paulson Thomas, who is leading our new sales team. And today we're going to talk about an interesting topic, the difference between being a freelancer versus an agency and how that impacts your business. So, Paulson, what do you think the differences are and how do you handle it with your clients that you're talking to?
Yeah, so here at our agency, when we talk to our clients, we see people coming from different experiences. They've hired freelancers in the past or they've hired agencies. And I would admit that every practice is different, every business is different. You have to really identify what works best for you. Some practices or businesses really want that white glove, hands-on approach, and some don't. So depending on where they are in business, sometimes they're a little bit more seasoned and they just want strategy, more of a macro level and direction, where some startups want that shoulder-to-shoulder approach. And that's where I see the strength of a freelancer versus an agency kind of come in play. One of the things that I would also highlight is the capabilities that a freelancer is able to do versus an agency. Now I see both sides of it coming on board here at our agency. An agency definitely has a different variety of talents and skills and resources that a freelancer cannot do. And there are strengths for freelancers as well in that scenario.
Yeah, and so one of the misconceptions that I think a lot of business owners deal with is as they are starting to investigate or interview different agencies or freelancers, that term actually becomes blended very easily, right? Like, I'm talking to an agency, but it's actually just a one-person show, right? So how should a business owner approach that? Because you're talking to clients, I know other people here talk to clients and stuff, and they're coming off and maybe a negative or a positive experience in working with us. Can you talk about that, like what that difference actually entails to that business owner?
Yeah, so essentially most practice owners or business owners really cannot identify who's who in the formula quite often, because we understand in the marketing game there are teams that are remotely working, there are subcontractors, there are partner businesses and agencies, and even partner or freelancers that are leveraging different skill sets for yourself or the project. Now, at the end of the day, I look at two different things. Am I getting the result that I want, right? And number two, am I getting the support that my team in-house for my business needs? So that's where the differentiation would come in on whether this is the right size of a business that I'm working with or an agency that I'm working with or a group of freelancers that I'm working with. And that's where I would start.
Got it. Yeah, and in my experience, what I've seen with a lot of businesses is that they come in, they think that they're working with an agency, but it tends to be one person. Now, to your point about they may be providing success and doing what they need, but if they are doing what they should be doing, they should be growing alongside your business, right? And so if they stay at one person, it means that you haven't grown actually as a business itself, because the needs and resources needed to support a business grow over time, right? And the teams that you bring in to help have to grow with you. And so I think it's twofold. We look at every one of our clients here at Innovate Fast as a partnership. They're growing their business and we're growing our business together. We want to be able to support them and be able to give them all the resources. I think working with a freelancer has its benefits. You get that personal communication, and working with an agency, I think the advantage is that you get to get that personalization, but then on top of that, you get the accountability and the systems and processes and the overlap if somebody is unavailable. Maybe they go on vacation or they leave the company, in a worst case scenario, whatever it might be, there's somebody else that picks the slack up. Yeah. If you lose a freelancer, you're on your own. And that's a huge risk for a lot of businesses.
Right, and Robin, on that point, one of the biggest strengths we have after working with, I don't know, well over 100 plus practices is that even though we have an agency and a team here in-house and also remotely, we're very agile in our skill set. So sometimes these freelancers are hired on for a particular skill set, like let's say Google Ads or videography or creatives. Now, if you want to have a different approach to your overall marketing strategy, now you have to go find and hunt another partner and start this whole process all over, where at an agency we're able to be very agile in the projects and the skill set that we're able to provide. We can just go from one department to the next department and have the next director just step in and have a easy handoff and go on to onboarding the next project.
Yeah, I think there's one key word that you said, which is building a strategy, right? A lot of freelancers come in, they're really good at one skill set, and they're probably the best at that skill set. However, from a business perspective, you need to have tons of different, the right people in the right seats to build a complete strategy. And it's very difficult when you just have one freelancer managing that. So freelancers are great when you're starting a business, but as you're growing, you need to build up either that freelance team or work with that agency who's already casted that team and already found the right players in place, and they're bringing it all in together. So cool. Well, thank you, Paulson. Everyone out there, if you guys have any questions about working with a freelancer or an agency, definitely feel free to reach out to us. You can go to customerrush.com, schedule an appointment, and we'd be more than happy to talk to you. Feel free to check us out as well at innovatefast.com. Check us out on Facebook and any of our other channels. All right, guys, we'll talk to you soon.